And let's begin with one of the big stories this morning, this afternoon actually. Retired Major General Joseph Nkaissery, who is expected to officially take over the security docket in the country after his swearing in today. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to oversee that swearing in of the Kajiado Central Member of Parliament as the Interior Cabinet Secretary in State House before he officially takes over his office at Harambee House. Now, our reporter Sam Ogina is currently at Harambee House, where Nkaissery is expected to arrive later. But Sam Ogina, there is that situation of the retired Major General still being an elected Member of Parliament. And so the question to you is, what happens now?
Well, thank you so much, Edith. As expected, Joseph Nkaissery was nominated and now being sworn in as the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. Joseph Nkaissery is expected to resign as the Kajiado Central MP. That is in spirit and letter of the law. Well, that is one of the questions that we are going to put to him, if at all he's going to resign, or if at all he's already tendered his resignation, as it were. Remember that code, to be specific, actually ODM, which is Nkaissery's sponsor party, ODM was quite categorical that after the president nominated Nkaissery as the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, then ODM should be given a free run for the Kajiado Central seat, saying that no one should actually field a candidate to run against an ODM candidate for that particular Kajiado Central seat, saying that it might be a ploy by the Jubilee administration to actually disenfranchise CORD in terms of numbers in the National Assembly, as it were. Now, Edith, what is expected here is probably just Nkaissery to lay out his blueprint of what he's going to do, but the thing that will be of critical importance, as much as security is also a matter here, is actually to ascertain if at all he's going to resign as the Kajiado Central MP, or if he's tendered in his resignation as the Kajiado Central MP, or otherwise. Edith?
All right. Now, Sam Ogina, away from politics, obviously his in-tray is very full at the moment. And during his vetting, he did say that he would not tolerate any laziness in the Interior Cabinet. But what is he expected to be dealing with when he takes over the office this afternoon?
Well, Edith, I can tell you for sure that security is key, and Nkaissery being nominated as Interior Cabinet Secretary, then we need to, probably his main agenda will be streamlining Homeland Security. Remember that there has been infighting between the administration police, the regular police, and this has been hampering operations. And also the security floor plan, the structure within the security system has actually been pointed out as one of the major setbacks that is actually affecting security, as it were. There have been several attacks in the country. Name it Mandera, name the Mandera bus attack, name the Mandera quarry attack, Wajir, Lamu, Kapedo. So many lives have been lost, including lives of officers. And during his vetting, he actually said that laziness will not be tolerated within the security forces. And also, he said that corruption is a key factor that is actually bedeviling the security sector, saying that he will not tolerate corruption because by the mere fact that corruption is thriving within the security sector, then it means that people get compromised in doing what they are cut out to do. And as such, he said he will be dealing with corruption within the security sector, and also read out those people perceived to be lazy in conducting their business and manning the country's security. Edith?
Well, Sam, you're laying out some very systemic issues in the police force: corruption, laziness. But back to politics, these are some of the issues that ODM, which is a party, as you've mentioned, Nkaissery is in, have said need to be addressed. But they're also saying that the government is not working hard enough to do with security. How do you reckon he's going to align both his party's interests and now his job as a CS within government?
Well, Edith, remember that being a cabinet secretary, then it means that you have to put, and especially this sensitive docket of the Interior Ministry, then it means that you have to put security of the state, homeland security, as your main agenda, and also party issues, of course, will come. But you should remember that Nkaissery actually backed the anti-terror bill, saying it is a good piece of legislation that will ensure security in the country is governed and governed well. So once in a while he's been able to differ with his own party on issues of security. Remember, he is a retired major, someone who served in the military, so probably he has one or two things that he has acquired during his stint or during his stay as a military officer. So probably we'll see how that plays out as he embarks on being the cabinet secretary, as he embarks to take over Harambee House here, where Homeland Security is actually, this is the main hub of Homeland Security, and also Jogoo House is just a stone throw away from here to our Harambee House. Edith?
Well, thank you very much, Samugino. Of course, he's following that story for us and will bring us more details as they continue to develop this afternoon. But speaking of Nkaissery, we have said during that live link that during his vetting, the retired Major General said that he will not tolerate, we've said this before, laziness and also corruption in the Interior Ministry docket should he be appointed as a cabinet secretary. Well, many saw his extensive background in the military as a vital component of handling his new job. But the question is it enough to deal with the tasks ahead? Rita Tinina takes a look back at the major changes in the country's top security offices and the man now tasked with securing you.
With a second attack in Mandera claiming the lives of 36 quarry workers, the president's statement was much anticipated.
We will not flinch or relent in the war against terrorism in our country and our region.
This was only the latest of such moments for the president, who has been under intense pressure to crack the whip as the insecurity crisis moves from bad to worse. The first move, getting a replacement for Joseph Olelenku.
I have today nominated the Honorable Major General retired Joseph Nkaissery as the new Cabinet Secretary for Interior and Coordination of National Government.
Uhuru Kenyatta did not make any mention of Olelenku, or whether he had been fired or prevailed upon to step aside. Lenku, sources say, was not even in the meeting of security chiefs at State House earlier in the day. His fate remains unknown. Then came the announcement about the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo.
I held a meeting with the Inspector General of Police, Mr. David Kimayo, a man who has served this nation with dedication and commitment. Mr. David Kimayo offered to retire, and I have accepted the retirement request.
At his Vigilance House offices, Kimayo confirmed as much, insisting this was not a resignation.
I've been able to make my decision, or my early decision, to be able to officially retire from the National Police Service with immediate effect as we continue forward for our country. This has been prompted by personal matters.
The 54-year-old David Mole Kimayo, who has served as Kenya's top cop for 3 years, had one more year to go with constitutional security of tenure. But now, his 34 years of service has come to a not-so-honorable end.
Don't rush.
As the country waits to see who will replace Kimayo, focus now turns to the president's choice to replace Olelenku, retired Major General Joseph Nkaissery. Nkaissery is the Kajiado Central MP, was elected on an ODM ticket, but who has for months been warming up to the Jubilee coalition. The one-time Defense Assistant Minister is widely expected to sail through vetting by Parliament's Committee on Appointments and approval by the National Assembly as Kajiado Central constituency braces itself for a by-election. With mounting pressure on the president to act, Uhuru Kenyatta has perhaps taken the most decisive action since the Westgate attack. And now all eyes will be on the man in charge of the country's security. Will retired Major General Joseph Nkaissery succeed where others have failed? Rita Tinina, KTN, State House.
Away from security issues to the controversial house of Yahweh. The prophet Willie Kiplangat Sang has died. Now, the prophet died of tuberculosis and was buried immediately according to the beliefs of the church. Kiplangat is known for predicting the apocalypse would take place no later than September 12th of 2006.
House of Yahweh made its debut in 2006 when Prophet Willie Kiplangat Sang said that the world would come to an end by the 12th of September 2006. according to the late prophet, there would be a nuclear war that would wipe out all living creatures off the face of the earth.
Wakati nuclear kitumika katika kitabu cha Mathayo 22 mstari wa 24-21, kutakuwa na nuclear naanza, lakini ile natetemesha hii nyota ni ya 29. Pato itatumika nuclear kama 3. Ndio kisa ya unji hata hii nyota tasuka.
In light of this odd prediction, Kiplagat had his followers build bunkers to hide in while the world went to war. KTN followed him to his supposed safe haven.
It's 8 a.m. and nothing has happened. Nothing is supposed to happen today. They tell us today is just the beginning of the end.
And Yahweh cannot lie.
A Yahweh they have come to passionately believe in. The holes were dug in Danai and Mauche, where most House of Yahweh followers reside. Their spiritual leader, Israel Hawkins, who is based in the United States and traces his origins back to Israel, issued the doomsday warning. Even though doomsday never came, members of the House of Yahweh still held the prophecy close to their hearts and believed that the world would come to a tragic end and they would be the last ones standing. Tuberculosis, however, got Kiplagat before his predicted nuclear war, in the end killing him on Tuesday night in Nakuru. And according to his religious beliefs, he was buried within 24 hours.
Kama alikuwa amejua anaweza aga dunia. Kwa hivyo ni kama hata alikuwa amepanga, alikuwa ameambia watu wengine kuwa nasikia alikuwa ameambia watu hii ng'ombe ndio mtatumia nikifariki nini, naona pengine hiyo wiki mbili zinakuja. The
late prophet was buried at his parents' home in Merigi in Bomet County.
Atukane mtu, atukane hata sana, ataki hata salama ya mkono. Taka nasema jambo na natosha.
Kiplagat is survived by 4 children. His wife Susan Sang died 10 years ago. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Elsewhere, religious leaders within the Likia and Beyond Peace and Conflict Resolution Council have hailed and expressed gratitude for the passing of the security bill. Speaking in Nakuru, the leaders who had earlier on come out in support of the bill before it was passed noted that they interpreted the bill as Christians' gift to all Kenyans. They, however, called on the security organs to ensure that enough security is provided for all Kenyans from all corners of the country. The leaders also warned opposition and Americans against politicizing the bill.
We are asking America and our local politicians to please stop politicizing the bill. The Kenyans regard this as a very big Christmas gift given to them by the parliament and the president. So, and at the same time, we ask America to consider that even Guantanamo Bay cell in Cuba is not fully closed. And they should learn from us.
Four people from one family who died in a road accident about a week ago at Gilgil along Nakuru-Nairobi highway have been laid to rest. Now, the 4 were among 6 people who perished in the accident, which involved a lorry and a matatu. Emotion, as you can expect, ran high as family members, relatives, and friends gathered at Kasambara area in Gilgil, Nakuru County, where a joint service for the 4 was conducted before they were later taken to their respective burial sites. Now, all 6 victims are said to be close relatives. 2 of them were buried last week. Local leaders present at the funeral service reiterated the calls on safe driving and observing traffic rules.
Vizuri madriver wawe waangalifu. Tukiwa hapa hatulaumu kamwe driver the late aliyetuacha, manake kama ulitembelea hiyo sehemu, hiyo gari iligongwa ikiwa kando ya barabara. Hii lori iliwacha clamping line 3, akafuata Nissan uko mwisho. Inamaanisha unless Bonaos yes huyo driver alikuwa mlevi ama alikuwa melala.
Ingine ni yale ambao abiria watakuwa pale, uko na haki wakati unaona gari inaenda kiasi ya juu, ambia dereva twende pole pole, hatuna haraka.
Ati msichana anatahirishwa ndio awe mtu mkubwa, ati awe amekoma. Mtu amekomaa hapa ama pale amekatwa. Si mnaona hiyo ni vibaya? Na mimi nimepeana namba yangu, nikasema nikisikia mama yoyote yule ambaye atapeleka msichana yake kutahiri, basi si tutapambana na yeye.
Well, we're just about to give you the story of postal workers as they look for a Did You Know fact. And remember, you can't catch all of them for all of you who have been asking me on Twitter why I haven't been giving you some. They're on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/KT in Kenya. But that story that we had promised you about postal workers in Brazil who are, believe it or not, spreading Christmas cheer to those in need. They're in a program which ensures that 500,000 less fortunate children have gifts under their tree this year. And so CNN's Shasta Darlington will have that story in just a little bit. And if we're not able to give it to you right now, then we might be able to bring it to you tomorrow, because you know what? It's Christmas. So do we have it now? I understand that we do. Well, we don't have it, so I'm sorry. We'll have it for you tomorrow on Christmas Day. So that's where we wrap up this edition of KTN's News Desk. My name is Edith Kimani. Did you know reindeer make excellent getaway cars? Can you imagine that? In Siberia, that is. People often use reindeer to escape from crime scenes, and so the Russian police have actually asked to have their snowmobiles replaced with reindeer. Isn't that cool? Well, my name is Edith Kimani. Merry Christmas. And to Collins, who was meant to give me a Did You Know fact today, you're expected to provide 2 for our viewers tomorrow because it's Christmas. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.